or visit red5.bio.link.
Happy Tuesday. It's me. I'm back. Is this really loud? Is that better? I feel like that's better. Good morning. How are you guys? There's not a lot going on, like at all. At all. So I figured we would do another chat-driven stream and just kind of hang out for a bit. Yeah, because I didn't want to skip 2 days this week because I have to skip tomorrow because I have a procedure in the morning. Nothing serious. It's just something to help me manage pain. Little injection directly into my spine. No big deal. No big deal. And today is my pup, Tiny. It's his birthday. He is 10 years old today. So I figured, I see all these people like on their dog's last day. They give him like the best day ever. I don't want to wait. I want to show him how much he means to us now, instead of waiting to the last friggin' minute. I mean, we try to give him every day is the best day because we love him. He's our child. We love him so much. He's such a good boy. But I wanted to celebrate him today and really give him an awesome day and not wait for like a bittersweet moment, So just a light and breezy stream today, nothing serious. So I got a lot of stuff to do. I've got like 5 other guest dogs coming over today for Tiny's birthday party. Yeah, we went all out. I'm serious. I got him a small wheel of smoked Gouda. I've made chicken treats for him. I made a cake. I made a peanut butter and pumpkin dog cake. And we've got hot dogs and brats, and we're just tennis balls. In fact, we're ready to go, man. I even made him a birthday crown. We're serious about this, guys. We're very serious about how much we love this pup. So light and breezy. We're just going to chat and hang out today. But first and foremost, make sure you've hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy nonsense. Remember, last week of September, fingers crossed, I will not be here. Fingers crossed, we actually make it to Oklahoma City so I can get my new leg. So, if you guys have questions about that, happy to answer because it's chat-driven stream today. So I think I got bit by a spider, like right here. Sucks. Also, y'all are not going to believe this. We are not only 20 subscribers away from 8,000, but we're also only 20 hours away from our goal, from our first goal for that first giveaway for a custom designed comics and hoodie and a $50 gift card to Amazon. Crazy, right? Can't believe it's happening. Like, so close. God, fingers crossed. I really hope I didn't jinx this because every other time I'm like, oh my God, I'm that close. Then it goes down like 400 hours. So 20 more hours. This could happen tomorrow. This could happen in a few days. If I could get monetized for my birthday, which is Sunday, it's 5 days away, then I'll just be overly stoked. Like, if I could tap dance, I would. But let's yell good morning at the chat and start our stream right. Good morning, nerdling deranged lunatic. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Weed the People TV. And noted. You too, noted. Good morning, Nerdling First Class contributing producer Kino. Buenos dias, Fernando. Good morning, Jaden. Good morning, Maverick. Noted. We're going to do those in order. Good morning, Penny. Oh my God, you are so sweet. Thank you. You are so unbelievably kind. I'm telling you, hardest working subscriber on YouTube. She is so supportive of so many content creators. I'm not kidding. She's amazing. God bless her. Who else we got? Good morning, Andrew of the Science Fictionary Podcast. Good morning, Nerdling First Class Backyard TARDIS. Oh my goodness, so many. So many. All right, guys, let's get into it. Like I said, there's not a lot going on this week. We didn't have all the giant announcements like we thought we were going to from Destination D23. I mean, there's a few. I think there's a timeline Star Wars put out there, and you know, that Doomsday poster, it's not very good in my opinion. Not that my opinion really holds that much water, but it is what it is. All right, guys, let's start with these questions. Weed the People TV. I want to know Danny's theories on these 98 other universe doors in Peacemaker Season 2. And has she heard any news on Interview with the Vampire Season 3? First of all, never mention that blasphemous series on my stream again. Like, ever. I am a massive Anne Rice fan. Like, what, probably the biggest you will ever meet. I went to her house on First Street in the Garden District in New Orleans, stole a brick, and it's now in my memorial garden next to my brother's brick. This is something I talked about with Maria Sandoval on my interview with her, so you guys can check that out if you want. But it's so insulting and blasphemous what they have done to her stories. Not just Interview with the Vampire, but the Mayfair Witch Tales also. Like, it's just absolutely horrible what they've done. It's like they waited for her to die to shit all over her work. This is one of the things I find most offensive, is people deciding they know better than the author, than the creator of something, and to slap her name on it and say Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches, Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. It's not hers at all. One of the most important factors about Louis in the books, and I've read every single one of them. In fact, those books got me through my amputation in 1994. There was, like, home internet was not like a common thing quite yet. We couldn't afford it, or a computer in my mom's house. We did at my dad's, but not at my mom's. And my mom's is where I lived most of the time and convalesced. So all I had were daytime television and books and comic books and drawing. So I read all of the vampire books I could get my hands on in like a week. I was devoted. Anyway, it's very special stuff to me. Louis is a very important character, and the way he was written was incredibly important, a linchpin to the whole story. Louis was a 23-year-old plantation owner whose wife and child died in childbirth, and it devastated him. It absolutely devastated him. Devastated him to the point of wanting to commit suicide. He was just had no reason for living anymore because of what he went through. And that gave him a humanity that attracted Lestat, that Lestat just needed. The whole point of the companions is that a vampire lives so long, they become detached from humanity, from the world. So they find a new companion and reattach themselves, reconnect themselves to the world. And then the cycle starts all over. That's what was so important about Louis. And vampires could not have sex. Their members did not work in that way anymore. For vampires, the act of intercourse was the bite. That was everything. That was their sustenance, their pleasure. Everything came from feeding. So I made it 5 minutes, I think, into the first episode, and I was so disgusted by what they had changed that I just could not get through it anymore. I've watched the Mayfair Witches, and they basically ripped the entire book out, wiped their asses with it, and replaced it with I don't know what. It just garbage. So, it's horrendous what they have done to her work. Her work is so intricate and engrossing and just I mean, we're talking some George R. Martin level of world building and interconnectivity, and they've just completely trashed every single bit of it. That's how I feel about that. I don't even give two shits if they shouldn't get another season because it's so horrible. I'm going to yell good morning at a couple more people, and then I'm going to get back to the actual part of that question. Good morning, big time objective. Good morning, Rodrigo Alameda. All right. Interview the Vampire. Tom Cruise is the best vampire movie. Well, I have my issues with that one too, as did Anne Rice. Anne Rice hated the idea of Tom Cruise playing Lestat. When she wrote Interview the Vampire in the late 70s, she pictured someone in her mind like Rutger Hauer. That's who she saw, Rutger Hauer. Lestat is supposed to be very tall, Nordic looking. That's not Tom Cruise. And he's supposed to be very feline. Yes, Anne Rice died a couple years ago. It was very sad. I was devastated. Kirsten Dunst. By the way, how do Ouija work? Oh, that's a thing. They're not real. They're toys. They're toys. I need to get back to your rest of that question. Trying to catch up. Okay. So power. Well, rest of power. Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. Incredible author. Definitely some weird shit. I'm telling you, if you make it 5 pages into an Anne Rice novel and you haven't gotten to homosexual sex, she's probably off her game in that one. Anywho, good morning, Dave. Good morning, sir. How did I miss you? Maybe it was the X. You were the first one. Look at that. You're the first one today. How did I miss that? Okay, so theories on the 98 other doors. Freaking StreamYard. Freaking StreamYard. I don't know why they do this every single time. Okay. I'm going to try and keep up with the chat while answering questions at the same time. Okay. So, theories on 98 other doors in Peacemaker season 2. I'm wondering I'm wondering if his neighbor is a Martian. Um, and if it's a Martian, is it like if Peacemaker, if Chris Smith was a Martian, or is it just a Martian? I'm wondering if Batmite or Mixoplexy is in one of the other doors, because they did mention imps in that first episode. Like, he had 30 imps chasing him, and he found a dead one in the engine block, roasting. But I'm wondering if it's like there's Batmite, Batmite or Mixoplexy. So there's some of my questions. Um, Oh, that's hilarious. Leslie Nielsen, man, he's the GOAT. Who Whitby has the best fish and chips. How did we get to fish and chips? That's cracking me up. UK has used to have the best sausage rolls until Australia made it their national dish. Never had a sausage roll, but I it sounds good. I'm getting distracted. Okay, so let's talk. Stay on target, guys. Stay on target. We're talking about the other 98 doors in the quantum unfolding chamber. The QUC. The kook. The kook. Okay. So, good morning, Maria. Good morning. For those who didn't catch it when I said earlier, we're only 20 hours away from our goal, from the giveaway. 20 hours. We could do the giveaway tomorrow. We could do the giveaway tomorrow. Well, we can't do it tomorrow because I'm not going to be here. We could do the giveaway Thursday. Okay. I could get monetized by my birthday, guys. That's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. So, Imp door. Is it Batmite and or Mixoplexy? We've got the Martian door. Okay. Could we enter doors that show stuff from the DCEU? Could we show doors that show Reeves' Batman verse? What do you guys think? And it'll be all screaming monkeys. Yeah, we could have 78 Superman. We could have Burton door. I mean, the possibilities are really endless. But I definitely think that we've got some Batmite doors in there, maybe. And a Martian door. That would be really cool. Or could we just do like a full-on like Charlton Comics door? Charlton Comics is, of course, where Peacemaker came from, and Blue Beetle, Juno Master, Captain Atom. They were all originally from Charlton Comics. Was the question Charlton Comics? I think so. I just did that. Anyway, had a doors door? That would be funny. A Watchman door? Who knows? Where have you been, Maverick? We're talking about the 98 doors in Peacemaker's Quantum Unfolding Chamber. I said those words. Those are words I said. I said we're talking about theories on the 98 other universe doors in Peacemaker Season 2, the Quantum Unfolding Chamber. I know I said those things. Are you listening with man ears? My husband listens with man ears way too much. And it's very frustrating. Well, you gotta watch Peacemaker. I love that show. Peace out. No, I love Peacemaker. I do. I know that it's not for everyone, but I do enjoy it. I really like it. I know Maria likes it too. So, But that's what I think. I think we're gonna get some imp action. Good morning, Loki. 1,000% they will open a door and James Gunn will just be there on the toilet. Is this canon? Is this gonna be canon? Is my meme gonna be canon? That would be amazing. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. It better happen. I want my meme to be canon. You think Peacemaker looks like Popeye the Sailor Man? Fun fact, the creator of Popeye the Sailor Man is from like 30 minutes from where I live. There's a whole town of it's called Chester, Illinois. I'm really close to the Missouri, Illinois, Southern Illinois border. And yeah, their whole town is Popeye themed. Whole town. Yeah, kind of like Alice in Wonderland doors. So, good morning, Vinzinger. I want to ask you if you're familiar with some indie comics like Rippaverse, Mighty Golden Patriot, Heroic Tales, and Phenomenova. I do have ISOM #1. I read it. It's okay. It takes a lot for me, I guess. I just don't think it's that impressive. However, like the artwork I didn't think was up to par. I just don't. However, Josh from Den of Nerds sent me his comic called Unity. There's a whole review on it on the channel. I love that comic. It's a great comic. The artwork is absolutely phenomenal. The story is absolutely fascinating. Josh from Den of Nerds, Unity. Go check it out. Love it. We have some more questions. So Patricia had some questions about Klingons. Let me scroll up and find it if I can. You know, I suck at this, guys. And yes, happy birthday, Tiny. Happy birthday, my sweet boy. On your way home from Women on Missions. I missed that one too. Where's it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Aha. Okay. Star Trek and Klingons. So we're trying. So be patient with me. Now the subject is Star Trek and Klingons, okay? Star Trek and Klingons only. And then I will scroll back up and one at a time get to your topics and questions. So right now the topic is Star Trek and Klingons. And then next, let's see who was next. Let me get back here. So we had, okay. Then we'll have, okay. Maverick asks, can the MCU still make money without cameos? Okay, so right now it's Star Trek and Klingons and then MCU nostalgia. Okay? MCU nostalgia. So I do love Star Trek. Deep Space Nine is absolutely the best Star Trek series. That is my favorite. That is my favorite. Listen, Avery Brooks. Captain Sisko, that's my captain. He can captain my starship anytime. I love him. But I absolutely, whatever. I love Klingons. Klingons are my favorite. I've done so many different Klingon cosplays. I really have. I may get to do another one this year. I don't know. Which, by the way, that leads me to remind you guys, we got to pick 4 looks for me this Halloween. Remember, every Friday I do a different special effects look or whatever for Halloween. So I need 4 of them. Anywho, Star Trek, the animated series is crazy. It's crazy. Maverick says, unpopular opinion, I love Star Trek Into Darkness movies. Same. And when you hear a secret, my best friend worked on those movies. And I get really excited when he brings them up. I'm like, oh my God. Like, He was talking about Benedict Cumberbatch and he kept saying Ben, like Ben was like this. And then Ben said this. And I was like, who is Ben? And he said Cumberbatch. It's like, I don't know why. I never thought that he would go by Ben. Like it seems so obvious, but yeah. I know a couple of people who worked on those films, like Neville Page. He was the designer and he played Romulan in the first one. But anyway, I really love Star Trek. It has a special place in my heart. Klingons are my absolute favorite. Worf is my favorite. Good morning, Dr. Mad Studio. Good morning. Maverick prefers Stargate to Star Trek. Well, as they said in Stargate, no self-respecting scientist doesn't bow at the altar of Roddenberry. Better than Khan, Into Darkness, or The Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan. Any day of the week. Any day of the week. I mean, Ricardo Montalban. Seriously. Seriously. Love it. Martok is amazing. And you gotta give it up for Gowron. Without him, we wouldn't have the stairs in Klingon meme. I did learn some Klingon. I had Klingon for the Galactic Traveler and a Klingon dictionary, but I've forgotten most of it. I was doing catching up on it with Duolingo too. You could take Klingon and Duolingo. So DS9 is totally my favorite Star Trek series. I mean, after Next Generation, obviously, that's like your baseline. My favorite movie might be The Undiscovered Country. Christopher Plummer. You know, you've never really enjoyed Hamlet until you've read it in the original Klingon. Love him. Oh, you said Star Trek Prodigy. I've never been able to really get through that. It bored me. It just did. It felt too much like for children, so I couldn't quite get through it. All right, let me go back. Try to do this in order. Okay, so our next question or next topic suggested was the MCU. If the MCU can continue to make money, let's see, without cameos. Let me find it. Here we go. From Maverick. Can the MCU still make money without cameos? Nostalgia bait, member berries. Okay, and then after this one, we will talk Maverick. That's 2 questions in a row. We'll have to go back through. Okay, sorry, I'm having a little trouble getting to the next question. So much. Okay, so after that, we'll go with Fernando's question, which is, what notes does Mando and Starfighter have to hit to bring back Star Wars franchise? Okay, so first, we're doing this MCU member berries, and the next is Mando Starfighter. All right, everybody remember that, because you got to help me stay on track. Okay. Look at Patricia. Tachpa, tachbe, to be or not to be. Oh, wait. Tachpa, tachbe. There we go. That's better. All right. Can the MCU still make money without cameos, nostalgia bait, or member berries? All right. That's, I think, the $1 billion question. Like, literally. Because unless they actually go back to what made them great in the first place, my answer is no. They are going off of fumes at this point, and those fumes are the member berries. So I'm going to say no. If they can't get their shit together and start actually doing writers' rooms again and going back to this solid vision that they used to have, story driven projects, then it's no. This is all that they're leaning on right now, are these cameos, and the hope that our generation is just going to be so excited to see our old, heroes from the late 90s or early 90s show up in these movies, that they're not even concerned with fixing the actual problem. I mean, we've got a new lawsuit claiming that there is a disparity between how much the women are paid and how much the men are paid. So for this company that's claiming to be so present and woke that everyone is getting a fair shake, etc., they're getting a lot of accusations from a lot of people of color and a lot of women that they're actually being very sexist and racist behind the scenes. To me, it's kind of like another Shakespeare quote: "Methinks the lady doth protest too much." It's like they're trying to say, "Look how great we are. Look over here. Look over here. Look how great we are." And just throw all this shit at the screen to make you think that they really are, not being racist or sexist, but, behind the scenes, like they actually totally are. And I mean, this is not news. It's not new information. Bo's been telling us about this for quite some time. You want proof? Go check out my interview. He talks about it. Not just him, but Gina Carano, a very dear friend of mine who was very important to a lot of stuff they did. He was head of Legacy Effects. He's also a man of color. Another dear friend of mine who's an actor and has been with Lucasfilm, or was with Lucasfilm, for well over 10 years, like 15 years. He is also a man of color. He made the same claims, the exact same claims. It can't be all of them. They can't all be making this shit up. None of these people know each other. The only connection they have is they've worked for Disney and they know me. And they all separately tell me these stories. And now you've got, let's see if I can find it. Where did I put it? Now you have these writers. Is that what it is? Okay. After years of girl power branding, Disney now sued by former lawyer for gender pay discrimination. It can't be all of them. They can't all be making this up if they're all separately telling the exact same story. And a few of them are not public. They have not come forward publicly. They've told me these stories. So I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Again, methinks the lady doth protest too much. They're pushing that so hard, so hard. There's got to be something they're feeling guilty for or trying to hide behind it. So unless they can fix that problem, unless they can focus on finding the right individual who has the talent, the work ethic, the passion to deliver good product again with solid stories, they're cooked. That nostalgia is only going to take them so far. And when they run out of it, they've got nothing unless they can go back to solid stories, solid product, quality over quantity. Oh, we're going back to Star Trek. Spock or Data? Data. I like Data. Oh, you do a Duolingo Klingon? Yeah, I used to do that. Okay. I like Strange New Worlds. I do. I really do. Okay, I'm trying to stay on target here. All right, where's Fernando? Here we go. Fernando's question is next. What notes does Mando and Starfighter have to hit to bring back the Star Wars franchise back to what it was? And after that, we will get to Rodrigo. Okay, so first it is Fernando. What notes does Mando and Starfighter have to hit to bring the Star Wars franchise back? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, we have a comment. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up. It's hard to do these chat-driven ones. The same thing can be said about Doctor Who. The show's ratings have reached an all-time low, which is crazy because it's been out since the 60s. It's never been this bad since the 80s. I haven't watched it in 10 years. The Shooty series, they really did him dirty. And that may be an unpopular opinion, but Shooty could have been a fantastic doctor. He has the chops. He absolutely has the chops. But they gave him garbage. They gave him absolute garbage. At least with Star Wars, I just stick to the things I love most about it. Oh my God, Red Dwarf. I haven't watched Red Dwarf in so many years, but I remember it well. To be honest, there's really not many modern franchises I follow. Star Wars Disney canon is a mixed bag. I stopped watching Doctor Who ago for various reasons. On the MCU. Just thought I'd share all of that since I live near Liverpool, just across the river. Liverpool's where they're filming Clayface. You should get me some pictures and stuff. Tell me all about it. Yes, we have talked about Undiscovered Country before. And that's one of the things we bond over. I love it. And the Pepto-Bismol Klingon blood. Okay, let's get back to it. So we're talking about the notes that Star Wars has to hit to come back. Mando has Sigourney Weaver now. Yeah, they have Sigourney Weaver. Grogu should ride the pygmy hippo Mudang. There you go. Oh, I learned that word, Scouser. Are you a Scouser? Okay, so anyway, what notes are they going to have to hit? They're going to have to basically start from scratch. New characters. I mean, they have to tell a different story. They've told the same story over and over and over again. And it's just not that great. I mean, it's been done so many times. So many times. How many times can you tell the same story? And they're not willing to recast the original trio to finish their story properly. They've already destroyed them with the sequel trilogy. Pardon me. So it's kind of the same way I look at the MCU. You know, with the MCU phase 1, it was basically ground level. it was protecting Earth from, the Chitauri invasion. Because, phase 1 ended with the first Avengers movie. Then you moved on to phase 2. And they knew back then you can't just repeat what you did. Can't recapture Beatles mania. So they brought in Guardians of the Galaxy. They brought in the space adventures. They went cosmic with it. It was something they hadn't done yet. So here we have Star Wars. And I really think the answer to it is Starfighter and Ahsoka. Walk with me. Walk with me. Ahsoka and the Clone Wars stuff has its own fan base. Okay? Those kids are now grown-ups. How do I know? Because my kids were children when it came out, and now they're grown-ups. One is on my couch. Anyway, they want to see that stuff in live action. The new trio is going to have to be Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka. Or, how do I put this? Like, maybe not so much Obi-Wan. I mean, you could do flashbacks and stuff, like do live action Clone Wars stuff, I guess. But maybe it's Omega. Maybe we need to bring in Omega in live action. They're already talking about Millie Alcock. There's that rumor. What about Jason? Kanan and Hera's son? Jason Syndulla? What about him? We need new characters. We need new characters. We need new stories. They've leaned too much on, I don't know. I feel like they're not leaning on shit anymore with Star Wars. They're just kind of like, who cares? Let's just make some money. Let's sell toys. But they are bringing back Gina. We know that. She won her suit. I don't give a shit what kids on TikTok tell me. If a defendant wants to settle a lawsuit, it's because they know they can't win. They gave Gina Carano everything she asked for. She won. A judge signed off on it. Disney settled because they knew they couldn't win. Therefore, ergo, other words also, Gina won. If you have a problem with that, then I want you to go defend yourself in a lawsuit and then settle and then tell me if you feel like you won or lost. Tell me that. Whatever. So anyway, they definitely need to lean heavy into some Cara Dune content. That will bring a lot of people back. Gina has a huge supporter base. Huge supporter fan base. Do Rangers of the New Republic, starring Gina Carano. And that will bring so much of the fan base back. But make it a good story. Solid plot. Solid writing. Give it the attention it deserves. I mean, wake the fuck up, Disney. Like, you're going to make more money if you make a good product. Right? So, bring back Gina. Do Rangers of the New Republic with her. Bring in Omega. You've got Ahsoka. Put some more quality and money into that budget. And then keep Force Ghost Anakin. You can keep Force Ghosts forever. Let's see Force Ghost Anakin. Let's see. Force Ghost, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda. Turn Grogu into the next generation Yoda. Like, no, he needs to be like full on Jedi Mandalorian. It would be dope. I mean, think about it. They've never done that before. Yeah, she is. Disney put out a post. Some kid on TikTok tried to tell you, no, he didn't. They never said that. No. Yeah, they fucking did. They put out a press release saying that they're so excited to work with her again. Everyone loved working with her. What do you think that means, dumbass? Like, yeah, she's coming back. And I wasn't calling you a dumbass. I was calling TikTok kids dumbasses. So, definitely legends. Definitely. I have said for years before The Mandalorian even came out, which I got really excited for The Mandalorian because I thought it was going to do this stuff, but it just didn't. I've always thought that an actual show or movie showing the actual history of the Mandalorians, like way back to the Tong, would be unbelievably fascinating. I love Mandalorian history. Love it. I love Mandalorian culture. It's so rich. It's so well done. I mean, just the world building is amazing in those books. Highly recommend. The Tong were big green bug looking like reptilian aliens or whatever. And they were the ones who hunted and rode the mythosaur and basically hunted them to extinction. And then there was the whole Mandalorian Jedi Wars where they fought over the planet of Coruscant. Spoiler warning, the Jedi won. The reason why the Mandalorians have all those crazy gadgets and the Beskar is because of the Jedi. They wanted to be able to compete with the Jedi. So they got jetpacks. They got grapplers and little rockets on their wrists and knees. they've got Beskar, which is the only substance in the galaxy that can deflect or defend against a lightsaber. I mean, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. And it would be something they've never done before. It would be completely new. So, all about that. All about that. You love the Star Wars prequel trilogy. Listen, I'm old enough to remember when nobody did. When like 5 people did. There were so many people so upset, especially about Phantom Menace. But you know what? They got some distance from it, and now it's not so bad. Just give everything like 20 years. It'll change your mind. It'll change your mind. Okay, so remind me what was next. I got really into that one. I believe it was Rodrigo. And Rodrigo said something about Star Trek. What'd you say? He said, let's be honest, Star Trek is gold, but nowadays kids don't like it. That's why they're doing Strange New Worlds the way they are. And why they did Lower Decks. I loved Lower Decks. I know a lot of people didn't, but I did. Okay. Here we go. Rodrigo's question is next. Just wondering, what is your policy on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and manga in general? And then let me find another topic or question. You went today? You need to find me on Twitter. You need to find me on Twitter. I need eyes on the ground, man. I need eyes on the ground. Okay, what was the next one? Filming is awesome. I love production. That's why I'm in this gig, because I just love it so much. Trying to find the next question. I'm getting so distracted. So many. So many. I know I saw something and then I just kind of. It's so hard when there's so many comments. um Wait, what's Loki saying? Loki says so much. That mentality won't work for the sequels. What mentality? I'm so lost. But oh, you mean the 20 years? Yeah, that's not going to work. No, bad is just that's just objectively bad. Let's do this one. After Rodrigo. We'll do Spaceballs 2 after Rodrigo. Now let me go back up and find Rodrigo's question. So Rodrigo was asking about my policy on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and manga in general. I know nothing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure aside from the fact my daughter Emma, my children Ashton and Kessler were absolutely obsessed with it. Obsessed. Those three love manga. My daughter Emma tried to get me to read a Chainsaw Man manga. And sorry, sweetie, I didn't read it. I don't know. Maybe my brain is too full of all the other fandom stuff I try to keep up with and read, and then trying to run my channel and write my own stuff, which I am writing again. I'm in the note phase, I guess, of my next book. And Apex Comics, I sent them my script for that first comic issue. They loved it. They said my script read like a movie. Well, maybe because that's basically my background now. Anywho, I don't know, it's not my thing. I don't really have a policy on it. But it's just not my thing. I just remember my kids loved JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They watched it religiously. I don't understand that. And maybe that's just a very mom thing. Sorry, my lips are getting dry. But I just don't get it. It doesn't feel like the kind of show that I would be so engrossed in that I can't wait for the next episode, or that I don't have any emotional investment in it. But my kids really did. I remember my daughter saying after she watched a new episode of JoJo's, she wanted to like sit in a closet and cry. Like I don't understand that stuff. I'm just not. And I was traumatized at a young age by some anime. And back then we called it Japanimation. Okay. That's where anime comes from. Japanimation. My aunt was Japanese. She was from Okinawa. And my dad and uncle, their band was having band practice at my Uncle Bruce and aunt's house. And she's like, "You kids want to watch a cartoon? Do you want to watch a cartoon?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, cartoon." First of all, Aunt Joyce and Uncle Bruce did not have any children. So the limited time they spent with us was their only experience with children. And so I guarantee you she was just like, I mean, it's a cartoon, so it's fine for kids, right? No, it was not. I don't remember the name of the anime. I just remember there were people on a subway and they turned into werewolves by their skin ripping and tearing in the most painful, gory looking way possible, and then becoming werewolves. Like their skin just like off of them. And my parents found my brother and I hiding under my Uncle Bruce and Aunt Joyce's bed. It terrified me. But then again, it definitely did inspire me some because that's how my vampires in my book transform. Their human skin just kind of molts off and they become this twisted, gnarled, smelly thing underneath. So I'm just not that into it. I'm just not that into it. Let's see. Then we were gonna do, oh my god, I can't remember. I'm gonna scroll through, see if I can find what I was gonna go into next. I totally forgot because I was remembering trauma. I think Maverick asked me at some point if asked me how I lost my leg, and I'll just go ahead and tell you that real quick. I was born with multiple disabilities, and I believe I explained this the other day, so you might have missed it. So I was born with several disabilities. One being that my entire skeletal system is very underdeveloped, very small. It's way too small. In fact, when I had my reconstructive surgery on my left leg last year, my orthopedic surgeon told me that when they opened me up, they all panicked because the hardware they had gotten for the procedure would have been way too big because my bones were so tiny. He was like, "You have the bones of a child." It terrified all of us. So they had to panic and go get smaller hardware, which still, my bones are so messed up that having the corrective hardware in is extremely painful, and I have to have it taken out. It makes it very difficult to move around. So anyway, that was one of my conditions. I'm missing a growth plate, which you have to have 3 in each leg. I have 2 in my right. Missing bones. My foot was straight up and down. That's called clubbed. So I'm missing an ankle. I was missing 2 toes. Everything from my right hip down was smaller than my left. So that's that. I'm missing an artery on that side. There's all kinds of problems. But because my right leg was missing bones and a growth plate, it meant that my left leg was growing faster than my right. And so by the time I was 9, it was 7 inches shorter than my left leg. So they stretched it 7 inches by putting 8 pins through my tibia and fibula, cutting out a piece of about this big, about 1.5 inches a piece of my tibia and fibula, putting halos around the tops and bottoms, and putting these bars with spinning devices in between, and you'd press a button and turn it, and it would move my bones apart by a fraction. I had to do that several times a day. I won't get into that crazy story because I could write an entire book on that experience, and it was beyond painful, traumatizing. In fact, because of how I was born, because I came out in pain with broken bones, because of how I was born, I have a neurological condition that confuses the feelings of stress and pain. It intertwines them. Inextricably linked was the term I was told. And so whenever I feel any kind of stress, it sends me into fight or flight mode, and I feel physical pain and vice versa. So good times. That was an extremely painful process. But by the time I got that fixator off, less than a year later, my left leg was already longer than my right again. And so they decided they'd go in and they'd screw up the growth plates on my left leg so that my right could catch up. And then they were like, well, we can reset the bones in your foot once a year for the rest of your life, and you can spend your entire existence in the hospital, or we can amputate your foot. So right away, I was like, cut it off. Like I told them before the leg lengthening, just cut it off and give me one of those plastic ones you have hanging up over there. Like that seems like a good idea. And they were like, no, we're going to try this first. So They amputated my foot when I was 14, a month after I started high school. I did homeschooling for 6 months. And come to find out, by the time I was 36 years old, after 4 children and a lot of pain and struggle, that it was screwing my back up, or it had actually screwed my back up. My back is like all kinds of different places. I have arthritis, sclerosis, stenosis, scoliosis, sciatica, degenerative disc disease, and that's just in my spine. So they were like, the only way we can try to extend your quality of life where it's at right now is by amputating 6 more inches of your leg so you can have better prosthetics. Did you hear that? So they amputated total about 7.5 inches of my leg, thus rendering the entire lengthening process I went through as a 9 to 11-year-old child pointless. Pointless. Like all that trauma and pain for nothing. So anyway, I had it amputated twice. And now they've been working on my left leg since 2018. And in the meantime, because of all the orthopedic issues I've had, I put on weight because I wasn't moving around as much as I used to. I used to be a hairstylist, owned a salon, but it got so painful that I was bleeding anyway, I had to retire. And then I started doing this full time. But I put on weight because of it. And then the weight makes everything hurt more because I have osteoarthritis in every single one of my joints because of how my skeleton is. So now I have to see 7 doctors. I've had my neck replaced. I've had stuff in my back done. I've had this done. I've had that done. And it'll never stop. It will never, ever, ever stop. And that's why you shouldn't do cocaine when you're pregnant, ladies. Wish my mother had picked up on that. But that's what happened to my leg. That is my condition. That's where I'm at. You're sweet. I've been taking all of this for years. Good morning, Nadja. Tell you about the birds of the biz. I have an autistic child. I know that's a struggle. I do. My kids love My Hero Academia as well. Absolutely. My boyfriend in high school loved Vampire Hunter D. Facts. But I'm on all kinds of things, honey. I've looked everything up. I get regular injections. But trust me, there's no cure for what I deal with. It's just maintenance at this point. And speaking of which, I got to go. I do. I have to get the house ready for Tiny's guests for his 10th birthday party. Yeah, he's got like a bunch of pups coming for his birthday party. So I got to go. I got to deal that stuff, and I got to handle my body situations so I can be capable of pulling this off. And remember, tomorrow morning, I am going for my back procedure. So fun. I see 7 doctors. So anyway, if guys do me a favor before you go, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're still subscribed and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy content, guys. 20 hours away from the giveaway. We're 20 hours away from 3,000 watch hours. That means a lucky randomly selected subscriber is going to win a custom designed comics and hoodie, and a $50 gift card to Amazon courtesy of C-Jack Productions any day now. So keep the playlists going. We're almost there. And then after we do this first giveaway, we're doing another one when we hit 4,000. Okay? Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. If you would like to support the channel, I've told you the easiest and freest ways to do it. Like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the notification bell. That's all free to do, and it takes 2 seconds. But if you would like to help support the channel in other ways, help me get to Oklahoma City so I can get the new leg, all you got to do, scan that QR code, takes you to buymeacoffee.com/comicsandmua. You can tip me little or as much as you like, or you can tip Tiny. Not just done it. She bought Tiny cheese once. He's very, very grateful for that. Today is his 10th birthday. If you would like to buy Tiny some cheese for his birthday, just go to Comics and MUA or go to buymeacoffee.com/comicsandmua or scan that QR code. You can also go to Cash App. You can send it through Cash App as well. All are very secure, and all of these links are in the description below, or you can go to comics-and.com for all of this information. All of it. You could go to patreon.com/comicsand and check out the official Nerdling Army. We have 3 different tiers, starting as little as $3 a month. And with that $3 a month, you get access to behind the scenes outtakes, ask me anything. There's exclusive chat rooms, people who are Nerdling first class or higher. That's the second tier and up. You get early access. Your name goes in everyone's name goes in the credits of every video. And those Nerdling first class and higher automatically become moderators for the channel. So merch, access, all kinds of stuff over at patreon.com/comics. And for as little as $3 a month, you can help feed a starving YouTuber. That's true. There's also comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com. That is our merch store. Hundreds of designs created by yours truly on hundreds of different products. There's new ones up for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Revival. Go check it out today. All proceeds do help support this channel. I'm also an Amazon influencer. I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. I have my own page on Amazon, so go check that out. I have several lists for housewares and farm stuff because I do those things, and podcasting and recommended reads. So books, comic books, my favorite series, my favorite movies, special effects gear, makeup, skincare. Go check it out. Everything's right there. I'm also an affiliate for several other companies like Leash Boss, Zenny Optical. I have new glasses coming from them any moment. TikTok and CapCut. Also, this podcast is powered by the Red 5 Network. We are a collective of exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators here to educate and entertain you. So if you like what's going on in this podcast, chances are you are going to appreciate more of what the Red 5 family has to offer you. So go to red5.bio.link today to discover more of the Red 5 Network. My nerdy babies. Woohoo! Get it. All right, guys, that's all I got. Remember, I won't be back till Thursday, so keep your heads on a swivel. Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.